Are you suitable mate material? Chapter 1. We're all evil and negative at some level. The science of psychology minimizes the evil that exists in every human being. I'm putting this article here from my psychology book because an enlightened person knows something or somebody created us at some point in time, but they screwed up by making us so hateful, violent, and evil. If you're looking for a mate, know upfront that every human being is flawed with the potential for great evil. Love is hope over evil. The human race tends more towards evil than good. They try to put everyone into some category. They got categories for everything. If I love myself, which is supposed to be a good thing, they say that's bad and call it narcissistic personality disorder. They got a mental illness for intense athletes called body dysmorphic disorder. They say only a few people are psychopaths. We're all psychopaths. All human beings have the range of human experience within themselves. I was brought up with the Bible in the Catholic Church. All those religion classes taught me that the human race is fundamentally evil. The 10 Commandments say don't lie, steal, cheat, kill, or sleep with a married person. Dante Alighieri said we're proud, greedy, lustful, gluttonous, lazy, angry, and vengeful. The Old Testament in the Bible is a blueprint for what's going on today. The modern quackery called psychology embraces the humanist Abraham Maslow theory of the noble man striving for self-actualization. Where most people are generic gluttons and mooks. They want to make some money, then go over to the fun, easy side of comfort, hedonism, and entertainment. Getting high on something is off the charts. If you want to be controlled, buy into other people's bullshit about life. They try to shroud their fictional DSM, Diagnostic Statistical Manual of Mental Disorders, into an official atmosphere as though they have neatly defined all the mental illnesses into a clear scientific package, just like medical science, which is partially a fraud too, selling all them useless drugs plus the idea that a drug will solve all your problems, but I won't deal with that here. All I got is me alone with my own true nature given by God at birth. It's all I need. That's what an enlightened person is. You don't buy into other people's bullshit. My first proof of human evil is in the fact of all the poverty, unemployment, homelessness, and misery out there. All those phony liberals in our phony democracies haven't solved these basic human problems yet. I heard that the US government spends 86% of all the money in the world spent on the military. Personally, I'm against the idea of politicians as representatives because they don't represent the people. It's a fraud to have phony selfish representatives claiming to represent the people. I want to go straight to an online voting agency where the people create the issues and vote on them. People tend more towards hate than love. The purpose of all gossip, talking about others behind their backs, is to put someone down to build your ego up for the moment. There is a silent one-upmanship game in every group of people anytime, anywhere, this silent ego thing of I'm better than him or her. My evidence is in the Real Housewives and other reality shows. There is conflict with any small group of people that get together. Dante called it the first deadly sin, pride. I watched pretty well all 32 seasons of MTV's Real World. I did it to see the conflicts develop, the petty ego bickering of I'm better than you, he disrespected me, which is basically saying I'm better than you. In WWE wrestling, back in the day, the host would ask Razor Ramon how he was doing. Razor Ramon always said, better than you, Chico. It was meant to be part of the arrogance of his character. I'm better than you. I saw some psychobabble social psychology video on YouTube. The guy was at the local horse race track analyzing the people there by where they stood, what they wore, etc. To him, it's all a big public show of social standing. I'm superior to you. The TV news, the shows, the documentaries, etc. are focused on hate and evil. The sitcoms are about putting someone down. Society's latest new nigger is the middle-aged white guy, portrayed as the incompetent, uncool, bumbling fool. The left-wing media, as in CNN, MSNBC, Democracy Now! And YouTube's Young Turks, TYT, portray themselves as the loving people out to help the human race, but everything they do is about hating the other side, the right-wing conservatives. Watch the hate on all the news networks. There's left-wing and right-wing. That's their bread and butter. I have never seen as much hate for any human being as I saw for Donald J. Trump. He deserved some prize for taking all that hate and not letting it get to him. Then again, he's a psychopath according to them. He doesn't give a shit what other people think, which is an admirable quality. Is hate natural, or is it a disharmony in the soul? Left-wing liberals don't care about helping people. They want the power to run the government like the other sides do. Within the media, it's good job security to take the liberal, left-wing side and pretend to be one of the good folk, then constantly hate on conservatives. Hate on the people who created this marvelous world I live in, where for a modest amount of money that wasn't hard to earn, I live like a king with total freedom. I can be entertained by anything I want at the click of a mouse. I can go to the supermarket and pick from thousands of different foods. I can go anywhere while listening to the greatest music ever with my MP3 player. This is as good as it gets. That's why we're screwed. Everybody is always whining about some other trivial garbage. Nobody is ever satisfied. I think it's part of the advertising in a capitalist, pop culture world. To be cool, you gotta have the latest stuff. Why hate on rich people who work their asses off in business creating an easy life for you? What's the big deal if they live in a golden palace and you in an apartment, as long as you're comfortable and have the freedom to do what you want within reason? I don't want their lives. I don't want to be the CEO of a company or a big shot lawyer working in an office for 10 hours a day. They destroy their souls for money and you reap the benefits by living in a prosperous world. Even the late night talk shows aren't funny anymore. I want to laugh. I don't want to deal with the world's bullshit. Hate is fun for a while. It unites people to hate something or someone in common. It's energizing to have someone or something to hate, but it gets old. The only sane way to live is to focus on living a good life for yourself and stay away from the world's bullshit. I think the human race is evil because of my experience with getting ripped off, lied to, abused and exploited all my life by people, some of whom masqueraded as my friends. I was taught about Sodom and Gomorrah in Catholic catechism class. I know about Paul's letter to the Ephesians. Ephesians 6:12, for our struggle is not against flesh and blood, but against the rulers, against the authorities, against the powers of this dark world and against the spiritual forces of evil in the heavenly realms. God, Enlil the Anunnaki, destroyed the human race in the flood because he knew they were genetically flawed, selfish, violent, jealous, angry, perverted scumbags. Is your life centered around making money for material survival, comfort, and greed rather than enjoying the freedom to do what you want? Are you self-centered? Of course, everyone is, but it's not cool to admit what we really are. Do you have an ego that wants revenge if you feel disrespected? How trivial and petty are you? How easy is it for you to get angry? Do you get jealous of other people? Think of all the tribes that somebody created to keep us distracted if you buy into the stuff which is being discussed every day in the media. Male versus female. Liberal versus conservative. Rich versus poor. US vs. Russia. Illegal immigration versus open borders. MGTOW versus METOO. Married versus single. Alcohol and drugs versus sober. Anti-abortion versus the right to kill my baby. Enlightened versus brainwashed. Pretty versus ugly. Overweight versus normal weight. College educated versus less education. Professional versus blue-collar worker. Management versus worker. Toronto Maple Leafs vs. Boston Bruins. White versus black. Black vs. Latino. Old versus young. Gay versus straight. Old gay versus young gay. Catholic vs. Protestant. Jews vs. Arabs. Arabs vs. Persians. Armenian vs. Arab. Christian vs. Muslim. Jew vs. Muslim, Hindu vs. Muslim, Buddhist vs. Muslim, rap versus real music, meta versus male chauvinist pig. You never see this in psychology books, how evil, selfish, greedy, angry and jealous all of us are beneath the social facades. It's all sanitized BS for a naive college crowd. List of positive, desirable personality traits. Achievement. Ambition. Appreciation. Believe in yourself. Caring. Character. Class and grace. Commitment. Common ground. Compassion. Confidence. Courage. Courtesy. Dedication. Determination. Devotion. Encouragement. Excellence. Foresight. Forgiveness. Friendship. Generosity. Giving back. Gratitude. Hard work. Helping others. Honesty. Hope. Humility. Ingenuity. Inspiration. Integrity. Laughter. Leadership. Learning. Listening. Live life. Live your dreams. Love. Loyalty. Making a difference. Motivation. Opportunity. Optimism. Overcoming. Patience. Peace. Perseverance. Persistence. Preparation. Reaching out. Respect. Responsibility. Right choices. Rising above. Sacrifice. Sharing. Soul. Sportsmanship. Spread your wings. Stewardship. Strength. Teaching by example. Teamwork. True beauty. Trust. Unity. Vision. Volunteering. Misanthropy/hate everybody/misogyny. Misanthropy is a hate of everybody. Misogyny is a hate of women. Some people hate everybody. Some people hate women, men, gays, Jews, blacks, gypsies, or other groups of people. The thing about hate is that most people are politically correct enough to not let their biases and hates out around other people, but a lot of people have no great love for their fellow man. Many of us have been used, abused, exploited, and betrayed by our fellow human beings. Is it any wonder there's a stereotype about the cranky old man or bitchy old woman? People just get fed up and decide to minimize contact with other people because they don't need the social contact anymore. It's a pain in the butt to them to socialize, and besides, they don't trust anyone anymore anyway. What could you possibly expect if you watch the news every night, then all them crime shows? What gets me is all those fake shows called entertainment news shows. They're really shows to give regular people some satisfaction out of seeing our so-called celebrities screw up. They love exploiting tragedy. What about all the poor people? I'm sure they have no love for arrogant rich people. Current.com, misogyny. DaveBudge.com/?P=1656, hate fatigue. en.wikipedia.org/wiki/talk:"misogyny New York. Effeminism10/1.wordpress.com/03/003/1/FAQ-y-do-u-feminists-hate-men. HuffingtonPost.com/Linda-Hansen/I-m-woman Misoggy New York-m_b_84555.html. I blame the patriarchy.com. Mixblah.com/misogyny New York. Why does God hate women? Reclaimthemedia.org/media_justice/virtual_hate_crimes_misogyny New York_O=5084. Why I hate fun FAQ.blogspot.com. Chapter 2. An Emotion Guide. Man is an animal, controlling emotions is huge. Emotions are your natural feelings. Explore them so you know them, but learn to control them when you're with other people. Anger, hate and envy can get you in a lot of trouble. The facial expressions for most emotions seem to be universal, although cultures have rules, mostly about not expressing much emotions. A guy at a store picked an English girl out of the crowd in Paris. He spoke to her in English. She asked him how did he know she was English. The guy said because she had a self-satisfied smile on her face that you never see in non-English women. Emotions are a primal quick response to a situation or person. Your autonomic and central nervous systems react instinctively to situations. The basic emotions are anger, anxiety, contempt, desire, disgust, embarrassment, enthusiasm, envy, excitement, faith, fear, greed, guilt, happiness, hatred, hope, jealousy, love, pride, revenge, romance, sadness, shame, shyness, surprise. Women are not more emotional than men, but they are encouraged to express emotions more. One great challenge of life is to learn to control your emotions. If you can do that, you're on the way to enlightenment. Alexithymia is a disorder of low emotional recognition. An alexithymic person has difficulty in processing emotion in others and controlling their own emotions. Some techniques to control emotions are: 1. We approach pleasant situations and people. We avoid negative ones. 2. We can modify some situations to make us feel better. 3. If we don't like what's going on around us, we simply think about something else. 4. We make decisions to make ourselves feel better then act on them. Some emotion is temperament, but a lot is learning self-control. People try to use social rejection or negative emotions to manipulate others. Controlling your emotions is a high virtue, especially controlling anger. Control your emotions by staying away from people you don't like. Love has been described as a mental illness. Emotion is a natural part of workplace life. The more friends you make, the more successful you get. Most things you do are tinged with emotions. Emotional stability is appropriate empathy and otherwise an even temperament, not too much emotion, just being mundanely pleasant. A lot of people fake emotions. Stress leads to anger and sadness. Expressing negative emotions harms your physical and mental health. Worry, guilt, shame, anger, violence and sadness are negative emotions. If some emotions are suppressed, you feel bad. You have to get anger out one way or another. Do tough physical activities. A good cry feels good. Jamie Pennybaker, e.g. Pennybaker and Siegel, 1999, did studies where he found that talking and expressing yourself makes you feel good and improves your health. You're getting your feelings off your chest. If you think things through after they happen, it's good for you. Monitor your feelings and analyze them. Psychobablists say it gives you a sense of closure so you can move on. A lot of people, especially women, keep diaries because it's an expression and release of their emotions. I know how I feel. I think that when you put large groups of people together as in cities, it's an artificial way to live. I believe rural living is more natural. People always interfere with what you want to do for one reason or another. It's as simple as getting cut off in traffic or some egomaniac tries to stand in your way on the sidewalk. You either learn to control your emotions or end up in jail. It never ends. I'm like a Buddha in the way I think, but the anger still comes. It's a lifelong thing. If somebody dumps on you in some way, there is a good chance you will take that negative energy and use it to dump on somebody else, often harmless people like your children, your spouse, your pets, homeless people, etc. I think certain movies, music, and professional sports encourage the use of aggression and violence, which a lot of men seem to imitate, getting them in trouble in the real world. A lot of men do not understand what is legal and acceptable behavior in society. Just because some action hero in some movie uses violence to solve his problems does not make it socially acceptable. This is really huge, but nobody talks about it. Thousands of men get arrested for aggressive, violent acts all the time. I think they need a course in high school to help men see what's real and what's macho bullshit. Music temporarily affects emotions. I believe that following one's true nature is the key to a great life, except for releasing your negative emotions directly on others. For me, the best way to get rid of anger is to minimize the time I spend thinking about negative people and negative actions. I simply get on with living my life, doing what I want, shutting all this bullshit out. I don't let assholes occupy space in my brain. I ignore them and stay away from them. At one time, I would never back down from anybody. Most people just said something negative to save face then walked away, but I've had fights. Nowadays I simply avoid eye contact with strangers and keep my mouth shut as much as I can. I have found that even the punkiest, wimpiest person has a sarcastic big mouth these days. I think it's pop culture indoctrination. My best bet is to look away, keep doing what I'm doing. Confrontation never solves anything. It's just two assholes trying to get one over on each other. It happens thousands of times every day all over the world. Some people get killed over it. Positive emotions are fine to try to feel euphoric, but I believe that negative emotions cause most of the evil acts in the world. Endorphins affect mood. Endorphins are neurotransmitters in the brain with names like catecholamines, serotonin, indolamines, dopamine, L-dopa, acetylcholine, norepinephrine, etc. A good presence of endorphins makes a person feel good. When they are depleted or in low supply, a person feels everywhere from depressed to anxious. The way they do this is a complex physiological process, but that's not really important. What is important is that they make you feel good, and it's relatively easy to create them. You pop them off when you do things like inspired activities, loving activities, sexual and sensual activities. There's your key right there. Norepinephrine is another word for adrenaline. Anything that excites you, stimulates you, inspires you, or feels good contributes to the release of endorphins in your body. Spend most of your time doing inspired activities because you can only spend so much time being loving or sexual. If you go over to sensuality too much, you lose self-respect because you're betraying the energy in your true nature. So if you can figure out how to do inspired activities every day and earn a living at it, you will always feel pretty good compared to everybody else. If you want to build up endorphin levels, taking dopamine as a supplement is ineffective. It's oxidized in the stomach. It never makes it to the brain. Some naturopathic substances like phenylalanine may increase the availability of the precursor for catecholamines. Tyrosine is gradually converted by various enzymes into L-dopa, then to dopamine, and finally to norepinephrine. The precursor of serotonin is tryptophan, an amino acid that's present in many foods and sold as a supplement. Tryptophan or 5-HTP may increase the availability of the precursor for serotonin, and this might help lower depression, anxiety, and sleep disorders. The precursor of melatonin is tryptophan. Although most of the melatonin is produced outside of the blood-brain barrier, it is able to cross it, controls the sleep-wake cycle. A deficit in melatonin can lead to sleep disorders, especially insomnia. Melatonin supplements help a person fall into a deep REM sleep. Acetylcholine is a non-monoamine neurotransmitter in the central and peripheral nervous systems. It is made from choline and acetyl coenzyme. Choline is a B-complex vitamin. It is present in egg yolks, soy, and meat. Lecithin and choline supplements may increase the availability of the precursor for acetylcholine, which helps keep thinking and memory strong. Glutamate, also known as glutamic acid, is an amino acid neurotransmitter synthesized from glutamine, a nutrient present in many meats, eggs, dairy products, wheat, and various vegetables like cabbage, beets, beans, spinach, and parsley. Gamma-aminobutyric acid aka GABA is an amino acid neurotransmitter synthesized from glutamate. GABA tends to make people feel tired and lethargic. Increasing GABA neurotransmission and/or decreasing glutamate activation has been shown to be effective in treating various psychological disorders including mania, anxiety, and sleep problems. GABA does not easily cross the blood-brain barrier, so supplemental GABA appears to show no benefits except to make a person sleepy. Glycine is an amino acid synthesized from serine. Some of it is released into synapses as a neurotransmitter. The physiological effects of neurotransmitters on the brain are complex, but the one certainty is that more is good. Eat foods high in amino acids, the precursor for protein. Be active creatively, intellectually, physically, sensually, sexually, and lovingly. This will keep your endorphin levels high, therefore feeling anywhere from good to great. When you're tired and the endorphins in your brain are spent, you feel down. That's when you get snappy and lash out. Emotional baggage info. I don't believe in emotional baggage because every day when I wake up, my life is about releasing the natural energy from my true nature plus doing positive work to help the world right now. To me, emotional baggage is the big money idea of the so-called psychobabble, soppy self-help industries. Convince people that their problem in life is something from their past so they can dwell on it while these therapists and psychobablists make money in therapy sessions talking about it. This is ridiculous, to give one moment of your life to anything that has passed. Every day is a new day to do something good to great for yourself and help other people because there is so much need, pain, and suffering in the world while these snake oil salesmen try to convince people to waste their time mulling over their pasts to heal some imaginary wounded inner child. You only get one life. Keep living it. Don't look back. Don't mourn for anything. It doesn't solve anything. Everybody has close people and pets who die. It's part of life. That's it. Keep living to honor what they would have wanted you to do. Suppose you have failed relationships. So what? It should not make you timid about new relationships. If you want to find a loving partner, you have to keep trying. Feelingaware.com, learn from your feelings. en.wikipedia.org/wiki/emotional_baggage. divorcemag.com/articles/health_well_being/emotional baggage.html. emotionalbagcheck.com. girlsaskguys.com/articles/relationship/emotional-baggage-really-get-rid-of-it.html. Emotional baggage, can we really get rid of it? girlsaskguys.com. justastuff.com/letting-go-of-emotional-baggage, letting go of emotional baggage. Emotional intelligence info. Emotional intelligence is about empathy, feeling what others feel. How to be relaxed and avoid stress. How to decrease conflicts with others. How to have good relationships. Know yourself to be stable and strong. To me, it's one of them psychobabble terms that some psychobablist, Daniel Goleman, created in order to convince people they were deficient in emotional empathy so he could create a mini-industry by selling books, tests, and workshops on it. He makes the fallacious assumption that the human personality can be dissected into different, discrete parts, one of which is emotional intelligence, but it's all a crock of crap because we're holistic beings. Everything we think and do is tied into our emotions. We can't separate them from the rest of ourselves. Giotman.com, Emotional Intelligence. iconsortium.org, Consortium for Research on Emotional Intelligence in Organizations. EQperformance.com, Institute for Organizational Performance, bring emotional intelligence into organizations. unh.edu/emotional_intelligence. emotionaliq.com. Emotion websites. darkpersonalities.com. ehau.com/about_4740272_emotional-support.html, about emotional support. emotionalhealinggetwarpspeed.com. emotionalhealthonline.com. emotionalintelligencecentral.org. emotionalliteracyeducation.com. emotionsrule.com. emotionsuniverse.com. eqi.org/emotions.htm, Emotions Importance of, Management of Negative Feelings. faqs.org/faqs/support/emotional/resources-list, emotional support on the internet. Focusonemotions.nl. healthemotions.org/index.html, biology of positive emotions. heartmath.com, master your emotions. personalityresearch.org. socialpsychology.org. socialthinking.com. worldovemotions.com. happiness, wellness, and emotional intelligence websites. authentichappiness.sas.upenn.edu, authentic happiness. bfe.org, Biofeedback Federation of Europe. bouncebackproject.org, Bounceback Project. centerhealthyminds.org, Center for Healthy Minds. charterforcompassion.org, Charter for Compassion. npp.eu, European Network for Positive Psychology. excelatlife.com, Excel at Life. forgivenessresearch.com, Forgiveness Research. greatergood.berkeley.edu, Greater Good, science-based insights for a meaningful life. healingsheim.com, Center for Healing Shame. howtosleep.co.uk, How to Sleep, guides and product reviews to optimize your sleep. mypages.unh.edu/jdmeyer/emotional-intelligence-overview, Emotional Intelligence. selfdeterminationtheory.org, Center for Self-Determination Theory. sleepassociation.org, American Sleep Association. theforgivenessproject.com, The Forgiveness Project. internationalforgiveness.com, International Forgiveness Institute. meaning.ca, International Network on Personal Meaning. ippanetwork.org, International Positive Psychology Association. isre.org, International Society of Research on Emotion, ISRE. internationalstressassociation.com, International Stress Association. isma.org.uk, International Stress Management Association. liveyourlifefuel.info, Live Your Life Well. nationalresilienceresource.com, National Resilience Resource Center. sleepfoundation.org, National Sleep Foundation. cambridgewellbeing.org, The Wellbeing Institute. ei.yale.edu, Yale Center for Emotional Intelligence. positivepsychology.com, Positive Psychology. ppc.sas.upenn.edu, Positive Psychology Center. pursuit-of-happiness.org, Pursuit of Happiness. resiliencycenter.com, Resiliency Center. selfcaretoolkit.net, Self-Care Toolkit. sleep.org, Sleep.org. stress.org.uk, Stress Management Society. the-stress-site.net, The Stress Site. viacharacter.org, The Via Institute on Character. webspace.ship.edu/cgbor/perscontents.html, Personality Theories. Emotional Impairment Websites. ppal.net, Parent/Professional Advocacy League, PAL. PAL is the statewide organization of the Federation of Families for Children's Mental Health. aacap.org, American Academy of Child and Adolescent Psychiatry, AASAP. adulpsych.org, American Society for Adolescent Psychiatry, ASAP. ccbd.net, Council for Children with Behavioral Disorders, CCBD. ffcmh.org, Federation of Families for Children's Mental Health, FFCMH. NAMI.org, National Alliance on Mental Illness, NAMI. nimh.nih.gov/index.shtml, National Institute of Mental Health, NIMH. samhsa.gov/about/cmhs.aspx, Substance Abuse and Mental Health Services Administration. tapartnership.org, Technical Assistance Partnership for Child and Family Mental Health. Chapter 3. Common Sense Ways to Feel Good and Be Good. Holistic Mental Health. There is a connection between the mind, which determines how you behave and think, and the physical body, which processes the food you eat and gets you around to where you want to go. It's your instrument of action. The question is, how do you deal with your life when you're feeling down or off center? The conventional mental health industry wants you to use mental health drugs, do their psychotherapy. I won't spend hours here criticizing the conventional mental health industry, which I've done elsewhere, but I will say that all mental health drugs are created with chemicals and have patents on them, which makes the drug company very interested in promoting these drugs as the best way to treat and cure mental illnesses. If a herb or plant worked to relieve common mental maladies like depression or anxiety, you can rest assured the conventional mental health drug companies would do whatever they could to discredit these facts, which they've already done through the FDA. You're not allowed to make a medical claim about a herb, plant, or other natural substance unless it goes through all the phases of drug clinical trials and passes, but that won't happen because drug companies will not fund drug studies unless they have a patent on the drug, which is not possible with natural substances like St. John's wort. People like me believe that I create my own biochemistry through what I do that's inspired and fun or not, provided I eat a healthy diet that enables my body to create the endorphins and neurotransmitters in the brain. A poor diet by itself can cause mental problems like depression. For me, it's all about action, how I live, which I wrote about in A Free Spirit's Search for Enlightenment. There is a category of holistic mental health therapies or treatments that don't use substances. They could be doing anything from dancing around a fire to jumping up and down, pretending you're an animal, as I've seen some people do. This is what all that new age stuff and most of that other more conventional self-help stuff for sale that doesn't meet DSM standards is all about too. Anybody who has got an idea has the right to try to sell it as the way to wellness, success, happiness, or a better life. The final category are the professionals who work in the mental health industry and regular people looking for natural ways to bring their moods up. That's what I'm talking about here in this article, the herbs and natural substances people use to make themselves feel better mentally. There are no categories. Treat everyone as an individual. Holistic mental health websites. mental-health-matters.com/treatments/holistic-approaches. 123relax.com. 1stholistic.com. AHA.org, the American Holistic Health Association. altdemh.org, Alternative Education and Mental Health Initiative. AlternativeMedicinesPro.com. AlternativeMentalHealth.com. AlternativeMentalHealth.org. ccamhr.ca, Canadian Coalition of Alternative Mental Health Resources. edgarcasey.org/content/health-reading/health-and-wellness/holistic-health-database soundmindbodyhealing.com/mind_therapies.htm. eomega.org, Holistic Learning Center, New York. healthyplace.com. helpguide.org/mental-complementary-mental-health-treatment.htm. helpguide.org/mental-mind-body-therapy.htm. holisticbodymind.com. holisticfamilies.com. holisticmind.it. holisticmind.org. holistic-mind.org. holisticminds.co.uk. holisticmendeezy1.com. mindbodywellnessnetwork.com. myholisticmind.com. peacefulmind.com/holistic.htm. spiritmindbody.co.uk. wholisticmind.com. holistic psychology/transpersonal psychology/whole person psychology. There are some obscure fields around called holistic psychology and whole person psychology, which seem to get away from all the bull of conventional psychology and psychiatry to focus on what's in the person's soul or essence as a human being. ahpweb.org, Humanistic Psychology. apa.org/monitor/may06/design.html, Design for Whole Person Care. atsu.edu/about/whole_person_healthcare.htm. avenireglesis.ca/holisticspsychology.php, holisticheharmony.com, holisticpsychology.com, holisticpsychology.net, holisticpsychology.org, Miami, FL, holisticpsychologyschool.com, holisticrenewal.com/introduction to holisticpsychology.htm, aha.org, Holistic Health Association, jungiancenter.org, Jungian Center for the Spiritual Sciences, Whole Person Learning, psychologyandspirit.com, journaling info. Journaling is something like keeping a diary. People do it to stay calm and release stress while trying to get insights into their lives by writing their thoughts out. Many people with illnesses journal while they're ill to stay positive and deal with it. Some people write in their diaries/journals every night. Others do it only when the inspiration hits. Simply write out anything you feel at the time. Journaling is cathartic, getting things off your chest, and healing. If you've got a goal or a plan, some people keep a journal to chart their progress or lack of it. Some people journal to keep a historic record of their lives which they pass on to their children to help remember them. Books about journaling are at #808.0669 at the library. Books about writing are at number 808. Evernote.com, DearIsland.com, daily-writing-prompt.com, freelance-writing.lovetoknow.com, journaltherapy.com, journalwriting.com, lifejournal.com. Tyrosine for stress and depression. L-tyrosine is a non-essential amino acid. The body can produce it from phenylalanine. L-tyrosine produces the catecholamine neurotransmitters called dopamine, epinephrine, and norepinephrine in the brain which help relax the person and cause feelings of happiness. Even though the body produces L-tyrosine naturally, a lot of people use L-tyrosine supplements as a mood enhancer and stress reliever. Tyrosine is used to relax and relieve stress. Tyrosine helps deal with depression. Research has established that tyrosine used with glutamine, tryptophan, niacin, and vitamin B6 helps with depression. It is also helpful in the treatment of allergies and high blood pressure. 100 mg per kilogram of body weight per day, a good dose. This works out to about 5.4 grams of tyrosine a day for a person weighing 120 pounds. Divide the daily dose into 3 separate smaller doses. When tyrosine is taken, another essential amino acid called valine, available as a supplement, should not be taken as valine may block tyrosine's entry to the brain. Most data on the efficacy of tyrosine in the treatment of depression are anecdotal and have not been proved in scientific studies. ADHD-stress-relief.com, natural product to help fight depression. anyvitamins.com/tyrosine-info.htm. buzzle.com/article/dopamine-deficiency.html. depressioncureforyou.com/tyrosine.html. depression-test.net/tyrosine-for-depression.html. Chapter 4. Psychology websites for men and women. Psychology of Men websites. Division 51.org, Society for the Psychological Study of Men and Masculinity. menweb.org, menweb, a virtual library of links on men's issues. menstudies.org, American Men's Studies Association. menanddepression.nimh.nih.gov, Real Men, Real Depression. menshealthnetwork.org, Men's Health Network. androblog.com. apa.org/journal/men.html. apa.org/journal/men/description.html. apa.org/journal/men/papercall.html. bc.com/id/8914760, doubt a man's masculinity and he'll get macho. boundless.org/2000/features/0000195.html, subversive masculinity. braindance.us/mp.htm. bulletin/.com/interview/05/03/int05 Anxious masculinity. Catch himandkeyfim.com, Inside a Boyfriend's Mind. christiniou.net/pages/masculinity.html. colonsworld.com/new_masculinity/index.php. en.wikipedia.org/wiki/macho. en.wikipedia.org/wiki/masculinity. godspy.com/reviews/the-fireemnen-theme-ainangoff masculinity. InsideAGuy'sMind.com. masculinedreams.blogspot.com. mensbibelio.xyonline.net/hetero.html. menstuff.org. menweb.org. psychologymatters.org/mendepress.html, depression. themencenter.com. traumacenter.org/masculinity.pdf. Psychology of Women websites. apa.org/division/div35, Society for the Psychology of Women, APA Div 35. apsych.org, Association for Women in Psychology, founded in 1969. jyi.org/volume/volume 6/issue 6/features/feng.html, looking good. The Psychology and Biology of Beauty. mum.org/sexpsych.htm, female sexual psychology. psychclassics.yourq.ca/special/women. psychologyinfo.com/depression/women.htm. sagepub.com/journal.aspx?PID=121, Feminism and Psychology. seductionscience.com, Psychology of Women website geared for men to learn to attract them. webrenovators.com/psych/womeninpsychology.htm.